Good morning, Super Scholars. Today is Monday, April 20th. I hope you all had a great weekend and you got to do lots of fun things and have plenty of rest, and you're ready to come in this week and grow your brains from home. Before we get started, let's talk about our weekly vocabulary. Our first vocabulary word is data. This was one of our vocabulary words from last week. Do you remember what data means? Data is a collection of information about a topic. For graphing, the data is shown in numbers. Our next vocabulary word is category. Category is organizing objects into similar sets or groups. Now that we've gone over our vocabulary, let's look at our learning intention and success criteria. Your learning intention for math is I am learning to organize, describe, and compare data, and then use an equation to represent the data. Now, remember, our success criteria tells us exactly what we need to do in order to check that we've got that learning target. Your success criteria for this week for today is I know I've got it when I can organize data into three categories and use an equation with three numbers to show the sum of the data responses. So that's what you've got to be able to do in order to mark off this learning intention. For your work today, you're going to look at the animals listed in this chart. Today, we are going to organize data by putting the animals into categories. Think. What do some animals have in common? What are some differences with the animals? How could you organize animals into groups or categories? Take some time to think about those questions. How can you organize these animals? You will have three categories, which means three ways to sort your data. Animals that swim, animals that walk, and animals that fly. There is a few ways you may choose to do this. One, you can use a piece of paper to draw a chart like the one on the slide and write the animal names or draw pictures where you think they should go. In this chart, the dog is already in the walk category. Some animals may be able to go in more than one category. It is up to you to decide where you want to put them. You may also use this Google slide to move the pictures into a category. You will click the blue Try This link, and it will bring you to a page that says, Would you like to make a copy of categories? Click the blue button. This will bring you to your own slide where you can organize the animals into whatever category you'd like. To organize the animals into categories, you just have to click on the picture and drag it to where you want to go. If you decide that you want to move them to a different category, all you have to do is move it over. When you are done sorting your animals into categories, you will come back and do Student Activity page 282. Before you start, remember your success criteria is I know I've got it when I can organize data into three categories and use an equation with three numbers to show the sum of the data responses. The first question asks you, what is your representation about? What did you just organize into categories? What were your categories? If I said that my representation was about which ice cream the class liked, would that make sense? I'm not sure it would. Number two, ask How many animals are in each group? So look at your slide or your paper. How many animals did you put in the swim category, the walk category, and the fly category? Number 3, how many animals are there in all? How did you figure this out? Now remember, your success criteria requires you to be able to write an equation with 3 numbers to show the sum of the data responses. Do you think you could do that for number 3? 4. Were there any animals that move in more than one way? If so, which ones? Were there any animals that could have gone in multiple categories? And number 5, pick one of these animals. How did you decide which group to put it in? Once you have completed this page, you may submit it on Google Classroom. If you want to do extra practice, you may do the pages 281 and 283 in your workbook. Now, these are extra practice reviewing what we learned last week, so you don't have to do them, but it's never a bad idea. Okay, I can't wait to see how you super scholars sorted these animals into different categories. Make sure you always go back and check your work.